Hey friends, how are y'all doing? All right, so as we know, this is tonight supposed to be here to do social media. Now, you had all these speakers that you could come see tonight, and you picked me, so I'm going to make sure I give you the most information that I can in 45 minutes. I can't promise that you're going to become the absolute social media recruiting expert, but I think I found the biggest gold mine for recruiting in terms of social media that can change the future and the legacy of the Alliance. Does that sound good to y'all? All right, let's go. So I want to set the scene. I want you to imagine that you're standing on this recruiting battlefield and you have social media as your weapon. So you have to fight for the talented, sharp people. And it's not just in the field, it's online. So every click, like, share could be your secret weapon in recruiting top talent. So I want you to remember that as we're going through this, that this is the battlefield that you're fighting for, is in recruiting with social media. All right, to start off with the basics, if you've seen me in conventions, you probably see me on stage just as much as Andy, but not being a speaker. And then if you haven't seen me, my name is Jessica Swing. I am the social media manager for the Alliance and for Andy's brands. Woo! And I've been doing about 15 different platforms for the last 5.5 years, as Tia said, and growing them pretty quickly with doing viral videos and now doing recruiting videos. So we do everything from Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Facebook, X, or Twitter, if you want to call it that, and I have learned a lot. So you might think there's some assets to social media so you can get connected with people quite easily. I think Andy actually got connected with Damon West and Cafe Anderson through social media, but it can also be your biggest enemy if you get caught up in mindless scrolling. So your mission to start today is to use it as a tool and a resource to build your recruiting team. So I want everyone to take out their phones for just a second. Don't go on social media. So I want you to go, if you have an iPhone, go to your settings and go to your screen time. And if you have an Android, I did look this up for you guys. I want you to look up digital well-being. So if you can go there, you can see how much time you spend on your phones each week. On the Android, you go to digital well-being under settings. That's what it said. We might have to have Billy confirm that with his Android. You got it? Okay. Okay, how's my iPhones? Do y'all have your screen time? Okay, so I want to make sure that you're on that. So under well-being. So I want you to go even farther. If you see on your iPhone, you see all app activity. And if you're on Androids, you might see it on show your data. If not, it's fine. But if you have it pulled up, I want you to make sure you look at it, okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you how many hours I'm on mine because it's crazy, but I do it for work. So if it makes me feel better, it's a lot of hours. Now, if you can see on there, I want you to raise your hand if you have Instagram as your most popular social media that you scroll through. Any? Okay. All right. Okay. What about Facebook? There's a couple here. Okay. What about Twitter? I'm going to still call it Twitter, even though it's X. Okay, one? Okay. Now, I want you to look. What do you see for LinkedIn? Is anyone LinkedIn the popular scrolling? Okay, there's a couple. Whoa, okay, that's good. Okay, so I thought there'd be none, so that's progress. Now, when you're looking at that, I want you just to keep in mind about LinkedIn. So I know it's so easy to get stuck into the guilty pleasures of looking through latest local news, sharing memes, or going really deep dive into a stranger's life. But have you even gotten the TikTok where the girl says, "Are you scrolling instead of sleeping?" I've gotten that a couple times. So, but what if we stopped scrolling and started putting into action finding one more person that Andy is always talking about? So, in terms of always talking about that one more, what if you could do the next talented person could change the game for your business? So imagine if you have the next Megan Wood, but you don't have to rely on Craigslist, or you don't have to rely on bumping into them in a location if you're walking down the street. What if you could intentionally seek that person out? What if you could build your dream squad, the team that's going to take you to victory directly through social media targeting? So there is over 5 billion people on social media. It's a lot, and with all those people, that's basically an engine database that you can search for anybody. So you can just DM them, or you can do an ad, and they're just one place away. Now, the important part about social media is that it is targeting. So with traditional recruiting, you can just put job posts up, or you kind of sort of invite everyone, and then everyone comes to the posting, and you don't know what you're going to get. You have to filter through the people. You have to see, who they're going to be, and it takes a lot of time to filter through everyone that applies to any kind of job. So the thing that's different with LinkedIn is that you can go through the online database, find experience, skills, interests, and target your team. The next thing is relationship building. One of the biggest benefits of social media is that it lets you build relationships before you even reach out. It builds the credibility, it builds the success stories, and the culture. So how often is it that you meet someone new and immediately search them online to see if they're a legit person? I feel like everyone probably does this pretty often because social proof does matter. And if you're not sharing what your company stands for, you're missing out. The next thing is social media is super relevant. According to Glassdoor, 75% of job seekers are more likely to apply to a company if the company has prominent social media. And also 73% of millennials found their last job through social media. I actually found it through LinkedIn as well. So why LinkedIn? Apart from all these different platforms, is that it has 48 million people using LinkedIn each week. So 4 out of 5 LinkedIn members have business-related backgrounds, makes it key for recruiting and networking. So 40% of those users are on there active daily, and for job seekers, 4 times more likely to get hired if they use social media effectively. So, as I said, there's 900 million users, 40 million for business, and then 94% of business-to-business marketers use LinkedIn to distribute content. So that's really good for lead generation and business networking because you're getting to reach out to people who are already like-minded to you. Let's see. Oh yeah, y'all go ahead and take those pictures. So also 60% of people are on LinkedIn specifically for job opportunities. So you're not going to find the people on there that are just scrolling to look at the news feed of something that's happening. They're on that intentionally with a purpose. So this is how we're going to build your social media platform for LinkedIn. If you want to find that one more person, this is how we're going to do it. So first, you have to think of it as a digital resume. So basically, just how you would have anything else set up, like a professional resume that you want to have everything, all your qualifications, all your skills, everything listed out for you. So there is going to be 3 major components for that. First, you're going to need a company page. For that, you need to set it up through your LinkedIn profile, which we'll talk about. But basically, your company page, we have it for National Agents Alliance, and it's connected to Andy's profile. The second thing that you're going to need to have is a LinkedIn profile. And the third thing that's major for this is that you're going to need a booking calendar. So we use Calendly for us. It's free. You can pay more and add more users. So if you have a team that you want to get recruiters to go through the people that you want to be calling, they can go round robin it to how many people that you prefer. Okay, so this is how you're going to win. You're going to set up that LinkedIn profile. You're going to use that as a digital resume. So you need to make sure that it looks sharp. So you know how you wouldn't go to a job interview in sweatpants? So you shouldn't look unprofessional in your LinkedIn profile either. I had a friend actually about 6 months ago. She applied to 50 different jobs and didn't hear back from any. We have similar backgrounds, we have similar degrees, and I couldn't figure out why no one was hiring her. So I looked at her profile, I looked at her resume, and it had a bunch of different fluff words. It didn't have a lot of descriptives of what her credentials were, and it was all kind of vague. So it was a lot of wording, but didn't actually say a lot. So we tweaked it a little bit, and 2 months ago, she actually got a job. So this is the same thing that applies to LinkedIn. So you have to make sure that it looks legit and you can back up all the skills that you have. All right, so to set up your profile, you're gonna need 3 specific things. You're gonna need a profile picture. Make sure you can see all the facts there. If you have a sharp profile picture, you're gonna get more views to your page. The second thing is that you're gonna need a good cover photo. So you have to make it look sharp and relevant to your visual branding. So let it describe who you are. Give it some color, some clean branding, and that will be on the cover behind your profile. And then the third thing is the title headline. So you need to make sure that your keywords are optimized to get more searches. If you use something very general, so if you say that you are an expert in X, Y, and Z. Okay, why are you an expert? So for instance, right here, you can see thank you, is recruiting top talent. So we had this as an example. So for us, we can do recruiting top talent to build life-changing careers and do life insurance specialists. So it's very specific of what you're trying to go for. So there is a good one and a bad one here. So they're very similar if you look at them initially, but actually if you look more into it, there's a big difference. For one, the one on the left is very creative, so they take the background that LinkedIn originally has and makes it a little bit unique. They do all the call to actions on there, so what is he marketing, what is he advertising, what can people look for when they go to him. It's very specific. He also likes to be creative. He takes the original LinkedIn icon and steps out of it, so that's a little bit more eye-catching than something that is on the right. So I do like cats, but when it comes to this, I don't want my pet to be recruiting me on LinkedIn. So these are more ways to build your profile. So you want to make sure that you turn the summary into your story. So you need to go beyond just listing skills and job titles. You need to explain why those skills matter and how they benefit to other people. So a good way to do this is to use ChatGPT. Put in information, any accomplishments that you have done, anything family related, anything that you like to share that is personal because of who you are. You're here for a reason, so you should show that on your summary on LinkedIn. Avoid using buzzwords, though, like specialize or experience, instead going to something more specific, like the industry, talents, and credentials. So here, I am biased, but here is an option here. So for Andy's, his is very specific. So his is building leaders, creating legacy, CEO, entrepreneur, mentor in the financial industry. We also made sure that I was connected to National Agents Alliance, and we also, since he's a big NC State fan, we had to connect that there. As you can see, his profile picture matches his cover page, and it's all super cohesive. It describes who he is and what he is known for. I have another example back here too. So this is another really famous guy. I really liked his profile. It has all the things that he is advertising, but it's not too pushy. And he also has a yellow backdrop that actually really stands out. So if you can kind of tell the difference, Andy's is more descriptive, it's more personal, it has more information about who he is, but the other guy's is also really good, but it has more straight, just accomplishments, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so I have someone else in here that I would like to highlight. So, Noel Leventovich. I thought hers looks really good. We've talked previously about this. So her profile picture actually matches her background. Her background is her very excited, enthusiastic. You can see a little bit of the crowd. And I really like that it has the hiring there. You can actually, though, there's another option where it's open to networks on their profile. So if you're seeing people that are open to work, you can actually connect to those people easy because LinkedIn will do that algorithm for you. And also with her about, you can see it's just more personal, and it has a little bit more of the company, but also talks about her skills as well. So, right. So, more ways to add to your profile. So the big way to actually look credible is to actually have friends on there. So the way to do that is to grow your networks. So one of the easiest ways to do that is actually syncing your profile with your emails. So there's a button under settings that you can connect it to your email contacts. Another easy way, if you're trying to search people that are relevant to you, is just type in the search bar. For example, we would do finance or life insurance, entrepreneur, CEO, things like that for Andy, and then you go to people, and then you'll see a bunch of people that have mutual connections with you. So you can see people that are like 50 connections. Obviously, you might have a lot in common. It's a good way to connect that way. So another way to actually look very credible is to do endorsements. So basically that is when people can go to your skill set and endorse those skills. So for Andy, as you can see right here, we have several that has team building, strategic planning, and those people have seen that and endorsed him for that. So when you have people that are looking at your profile that you might want to hire, they can see that you're legit, you're someone credible that they want to work with. So they should really be selling you and you not having to sell to them. The second thing is do request recommendations. So that is a step further than endorsements. So endorsements, you push the button, has another quality, cha-ching. But with recommendations, that's people leaving really heartfelt or really personal stories that they can with you. That's also good and bad. But you can share people's an experience you had for someone. If someone really was touched by Andy, they can leave a recommendation and explain that experience with them. So, getting more into the nitty-gritty. So this is how you're going to create your company page. First, you're going to have your profile that you set up, add all the things that we talked about. Then you're going to make sure that you go and create the company page. You're going to go for business, and then create a company page, add all the details. They'll go step by step for you. And then make sure, though, that when you start running ads, if you do, that you have to make sure that it is connected in your experience section of your LinkedIn profile, which will go a little bit more into detail. But if you want good examples of company profiles that you can look at, obviously look at the Alliance. But there's other ones like HubSpot and Spotify that are good examples. They have good branding, consistent communication, company culture, employee spotlights, consistent posting, and they're actively there promoting workplace culture and career opportunities. So this is a little bit more of the fun part. This is how you start running ads. So when you're on your main profile, you're going to go to advertise on the right-hand corner. And then as you can see, you have different options on the side. You go to advertise and click create. Oh. All right, so the ads that I like to run for LinkedIn are conversation ads. Now, the reason that is because it has a lot more statistics that back it up, as I know, say a lot more facts that go back to this than just regular ads. So basically, with conversation ads, you get more personalized one-on-one messages. You also have a 70% open rate, so it outperforms traditional emails. They convert 20% higher than other ad formats. And it has multiple CTA, so call to action buttons that allow users to choose their path, leading to more qualified engagement. So the way that these conversation ads work is basically it looks not as direct or like desperate as a regular ad. If you see an ad on your Facebook and it says sponsored, you kind of already like turned off by it because you know someone's trying to sell you something. With LinkedIn conversation ads, it's a little bit different. So they reach your audience directly with native looking sponsored messages. So it looks more organic, it's going into their inbox. And the special thing about that is that it's actually placed in a specific place for the user to see, and they're only delivered when when the active boosting engagement is on. So when they are on their profile is when that ad will actually be sent. So also you want to make sure when you do this that you don't just send a generic tagline. You want to make sure it's something really specific. And you can also personalize these ads and say, hey, first name, and it'll add their first name. It'll add what their industry is based on the message itself. So this is a little bit more specific. So this is the targeting that we do for LinkedIn. So we like to do more entrepreneur mindset specific. So we do solar, life insurance, pest control, car sales. We target people that you are relatable to. So for instance, if you had a military background, you would want to target people in the military because you have that mutual connection. You don't want to just target random people. You want to have something in common. So when you do get on the phone with them, you actually have a genuine connection. So the special thing about LinkedIn is actually how specific the targeting is. So you can go from all types of demographics. You can do people with specific job titles. You can actually target people in specific companies. You can do industries. You can also do company size. You can do groups. You can connect with their skills that you put into your profile. If they had like career building as a skill and you target that, then it would go to that person. Also, it can do education. The really special thing about it, though, is that you can connect it to people that are actively looking for a career change or looking for a job opportunity. So people that are looking for those will check that in their profile, and immediately you can start targeting those people. So a special thing about this, too, is that you can actually retarget people, and that allows you to re-engage with users that have previously interacted with your brand. So a lot of people may open up your message, so we have a 70% open rate for conversation ads, but they may not actually visit with the website or engage with your LinkedIn content. So after 90 days when we're running an ad, we will do retargeting to those people that have opened it but actually haven't responded. And we can actually say that retargeting based on LinkedIn can increase by much as 150%. And there's a second option that is almost called like a lookalike audience. So you can take basically if you have a set group of agents, or for us, we can take the agents with the alliance, we can input it into LinkedIn, and it will create this lookalike or predictive audience to target people similar to the people that you already have. So this is the message that we send out for Andy. And we try to make it where we are saying exactly who we are from the bat. It makes it easier for our recruits so they don't have to go in and explain too much. And also for people on LinkedIn, this is kind of what they're already looking for, so you don't have to explain as much as people that might be on Instagram. Now, I will say when I've worked with agents in the past, we don't use the same messaging because you don't want to target the same people have the same message, so it might overlap. So for targeting, when I work with agents, we always target a little bit different, so we do it based on what their background is and also a little bit more of their history. So with this is how the booked appointments work. I'm actually going to go back a little bit because I want you to see the call to actions on the other one. Go back. So that first message on the left, that is the first message that they are going to get. They can do schedule a call. they press that button, it goes directly into a LinkedIn format. So they put their name, number, email, industry, all that stuff that is already on LinkedIn is already into the form, and they just hit submit. Now, if they do tell me more, then that goes to the right message, and that gives more descriptive of who we are. So they have a little bit more information, and if they say they're interested, then that goes into the next page that you're going to see. So that is the integrated form. So LinkedIn offers that built-in lead generation form within the platform. So they don't really have to put a lot of information in. They just put their name, number, cell phone, email, and then city, but the rest of it is already inputted from LinkedIn. And then when you see right here on that left-hand side, that is the button. Once they fill out the form on the right, it says thank you. That's their thank you in screen. And when they say learn more, it actually goes into the booking calendar of your choice. So if you have Calendly, it would go directly to there, and then they can book into your calendar. Now, once they do that, the people that don't book into the calendar, we actually put them into an Excel sheet for you, so you're not losing all that data. About half of the users actually book into the calendar, and the other half you may have to follow up with. Now, that Excel sheet has a lot of information, so it has basically their name, number, email, city, industry, and whether they booked a call with you or not. We're also testing a different CRM, so we're testing one that actually does the automated follow-ups for those people that don't book into a calendar, but I don't want to say if it's good or not yet because we haven't fully tested it. When we test it, and if we like it, then we can share that. So this is what the booked appointment looks like for Andy. So for him, we wanted to be a little bit more descriptive. So we have immediately, that might be Patrick's cell phone number on there. I'm not entirely sure it is. Okay. So Andy wants people, if they're not going to book into the calendar, to immediately call him. So that's the first thing on there. So people will randomly call Patrick, and he does get those kind of often. But normally what they'll try to do is book into the calendar. Now for us, we only do it 2 days out in advance. So if you do 5 days out, they're going to forget about that booked appointment. So we want to get them in and want to get them quick. Also, we do it for 15 minutes because we don't want it to seem too intimidating. If you do like 30 minutes, they're going to be turned off and don't want to actually talk. And then we also wanted to make sure that people understood that they weren't going to be talking to Andy directly, but it would be with one of his executive like higher ups that would be in connection. So there is a link at the bottom right there. So when they click on that link, it goes to a video of Andy, and he talks about who he is, what his company is, how he did it, his background. It's about a 5-minute video. And we often get people that click on that beforehand so they can qualify who Andy is before they even get on the call. So this is what the Excel sheet basically is going to look like for you. And then if you did not work with us directly and get the Excel sheet, you can access these leads under the assets on LinkedIn. So on that side where it says create your ads, analytics, there is an asset where it has directly the leads and everything there. So I wanted to back this up with a little bit of facts so you can see how legit this actually is. So we've been running for the Alliance these ads for about 6 months now, and we've gotten over 2,000 leads, and we're doing $100 a day now. We did start off about 25. We went up to 50, and then we went up to 100. So our lead cost right now is $5.78. And compared to other financial industry campaigns, actually LinkedIn cost is around 30 to 100 for other people. So I also wanted to compare this to some of the other agents that we have worked with in the past and how their leads are looking as well. So the first one we worked with for about 2 months, they have over 288 leads and 119 book calls. So almost half are booking, and they have a daily budget of $50. The difference for this is why it's more expensive than ours is that they're targeting 6 states in the U.S. versus all the U.S. So it really depends on what you're looking for. If you want something really specific, if you're going to travel to certain cities and you're wanting to recruit just there, the lead cost is going to be higher, but that's also getting more quality of what you're looking for. Number 2, they've been working with this for us for about a month. Theirs is cheaper, it's at $6. They have 70 book calls, so again, about half, and they're doing $20 a day. So not as much as us, but we're still getting a lot of leads. So as you can see, they're getting 10 book calls per week. This one is also targeting the whole U.S. besides New York. So you're actually going to get more leads that way, but it might not be as specific to the locations that you're going. Company number 3, they've been doing it for only 3 weeks, and their cost per lead is $7.43. They've done about 43 leads and 20 book calls. So I want to show this because from 2 months, 1 month, 3 weeks, the more you do it, the better results that you're going to get. LinkedIn is constantly learning who you're targeting, so it's going to get more and more specific. The more they see a certain industry, the more they're going to target that industry. I want to go back, actually. For the Alliance, I wanted to show this, that we're actually getting 15 book calls a day. So in the last week, from October 5th to the 10th, we generated 221 leads and booked 90 calls. And then as you can see, that open rate is 70%. So when those people don't respond, we then go back and retarget those people and get those leads. So based on how many demographics that you're targeting, so for us, we're doing more entrepreneur-related specific people, this is what you're going to get. So you're getting finance, sales, and business development. And you can also see the cities, the clicks on there. Same thing for here is even more specific. So the good thing about LinkedIn is that it will tell you exactly who you're getting. Yes, all of this is on that main page so when you see advertise and click on that, on the side, it has everything for you. So it should have an analytics and shows you exactly all of this. Yeah. And the difference between doing this versus if you're doing, Facebook or Instagram is that Facebook and Instagram will actually start targeting outside of what you're looking for because they want their numbers to look better. I haven't noticed that with LinkedIn, but if it does, I'll tell you. So these are other ways to recruit using LinkedIn. So if you did not want to invest any money right now, you're just not sure about it, you can actually post a free job on there. So for that job, you can do whatever you would want it to be. For us, we've done recruiters, we've done people for marketing. We use that to get more people to the company for us. Same thing for that, for those job postings. You can actually share those with your company page as well. You can share it to your personal page. You can share those on other social medias and get people to fill it out there too. The only problem with that is that you're going to get everybody. So you have to filter it versus LinkedIn filtering it for you. Now, the other part is really cool about this is that there's industry-specific groups to network with. So if you type in on the search bar, if you want to do entrepreneurs, you type that in, go to the group, there's like a little group tab right there, and it shows all these different groups that you can actually join. With that, they're 13 times more likely to generate engagement than public posts. So if you're in that group and you want to post about your success, you're going to get a lot of people responding because it is a community within LinkedIn. And also, companies that post regularly see 50% increase in qualified applicants. So with that, if you do a job posting, it is important to actually start posting on there because of how the LinkedIn algorithm is going to work. So why posting matters? For posting is really specific. So for networking opportunities, you can grow your network over 30% as your content can prompt connections from like-minded professionals. Also, same thing for LinkedIn generation. People that are posting regularly are getting 4 times more likely to receive and request inquiries about job opportunities. And the same thing for recruitment. If you are sharing content to the industry, there's a 50% increase in qualified applicants. So LinkedIn will recognize that you're posting and you're putting effort into your content and send more people your way. Because if you're just putting money into them, they want to make sure that you're getting more out of it, so then that you can also start spending more money for them. So this is where you can also take it the extra mile if you're kind of unsure about what you actually want to post. Here you can do so many different things. So we have our Alliance brands. We have amppics.com. You can pull all the photos from this event itself, post those on there. You can also do it for, you can use any of our YouTube videos, share those. If you need branding, I know Tia mentioned it, you can contact us for branding. So utilize the Alliance to help build your brand. Other things you can do, there's trending articles on social media for LinkedIn. I don't know if you've seen it, but on the right-hand side, it always has trending topics. You can find one that's relevant to us, or if there's something about job opportunity, recruiting, life insurance, reshare that with your commentary, and that's a way more likely to get more engagement that way. You can also be educational, teach people, so you can do how-to guide to with visuals to boost website traffic. So if you have like your own recruiting website that you want people to go to, you can do more of an educational post on how they can do X, Y, and Z, and they'll get more clicks that way as well. You can also do celebrating team achievements, so recognizing certain people within your company. You know, if someone wins Thailand in here and you're downline, you should want to recognize them because it looks good for them and also looks good for you. A little bit more on like what you should be posting on LinkedIn. So you can do basically anything that's in the industry that's trending. So using graphs or infographics will actually be better visual than just putting words onto the post. Same thing with any personal success stories, for instance. So if you went to a house and sold X, Y, and Z, you have a picture in the home with them that you have approval to post, you can share that success story, and it also gets more engagement. You can also do, if you really don't have anything that you know what to post, you can do an Ask Me Anything post. So people can comment anything about, if they have questions about your field of expertise. If you even want to do personal questions, you can do that. It's really up to you, but that's a good way to get more engagement and get an idea of what people are wanting in the comments. You can also do some behind the scenes. So you can offer a peek into the work process. You can do team dynamics. You can do a recent project to showcase your company culture. So that also helps do brand awareness. So for instance, this event right here, take all the photos that we post on AmpPics, use those. You can also take your own pictures or videos that you take from speakers, take a selfie with Andy, use that for the behind the scenes, and post that to showcase what we do. So with that, you're also going to be leveraging other social media. This is not a necessary thing to do, but it's a good idea to not just be on one platform because not everyone's going to be on LinkedIn, even though that is the best platform for building a team. You can still have these other efforts to go coincide with that. So for instance, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, they can help complement those efforts. So when I'm talking about content to post there, it's going to be a little bit different than LinkedIn. So for us, always a good reminder of what to post is basically our motto. If it's have fun, make money, make a difference. And it goes into those 3 pillars. If I'm posting something that's have fun, it's probably going to be a trip that we're going on. It might be the trip to Thailand. It might be anything, even with our events. You want to highlight the fun with that. Make money. So again, if you're We can't with FTC. You have to be very particular about that. But you can kind of show how you're making money without explicitly saying that on social media. Andy, he may not say how much he makes, but you can see his house, you see his jet, you see his travels, so it kind of alludes to his success. Or even at that, you can still say how you're making money if you're traveling, going to a home, and you helped a family. That also coincides with how you're making a difference. So you can do the heartfelt part of that, even like Merle Menon, how we do things with him. You want to make sure that you encompass all of those things. So you want to remember what is the intention behind what you post. Just don't post to post. Make sure that has like a call to action. It has a reason so people want to see more. There's also a call that Tia and I did on YouTube that you can actually check out. We talk way more about what to post on each profile, how to connect with people via social media. So if you have more questions on that, you can use that. And also I want to give a few stats. So there's 1.3 billion users that are on Instagram, 5 million on stories. So that's also a big place to connect with people and use that search engine. You can also recruit on Instagram. The way that you can do that without paying is that you can search hashtags in the search bar. Those are actually keywords that people can use in their bios. It'll show people that you might have the most in common with, and then you can send direct messages to those people. Now, you will have limitations on that because for us, we can only send 50 a day. It is time consuming, but you can save money and search, or you can save time and spend money. And that is the final call to action. So if you've heard the strategy, I want to see you do the tactics, and it's time to deploy your plan. This is the new battlefield, and LinkedIn is your weapon. So I want you to go ahead and rally the troops and build your army. Now, I did want to tell you, though, so we are actually doing this for the Alliance, but we're actually helping agents do this as well. So if you do have any questions, we do have a plan that we put into place. It's a setup fee and a monthly maintenance fee. If you are interested in that, just shoot me an email, or that's my personal cell phone. You can get in contact with me there, and we can get that started for you. On the other QR codes, you can see the resources. If you click on those, that has all the Alliance resources. It's not just social media. It's the Alliance events, it's AMP Picks, it's our podcast, and same thing for the Alliance. All right.